How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and over here we talk stocks and we focus on one thing. Always protect your profits. And today we're going to be talking about Wish stock. I know it's been a minute since I've given you guys an update. Yes, I am still holding my position. Plus, on top of that, I was able to buy some options last week, and they are looking really good since we did have a strong day inside of the market. I won't waste any more time. Let's jump into the agenda. If you're new to this channel, I just want to let you know we have timestamps down below inside the description. But if you're a shareholder or you're thinking about taking a position, I highly suggest you watch this full entire video. So the first thing we're going to go over is the technical analysis. We're going to be taking a look at the overall price action. We want to know support, we want to know resistance, and what it looks like in a bearish case scenario and as well as in a bullish case scenario. I want to make sure you guys are prepared. And then we're going to go on Fintel, taking a look at the recent institutional ownership and as well as the short interest information. We know already in regards to the short interest, it will have an impact on the way the stock performs. And then we're going to be taking a look at the order flow distribution. We want to know what was the buying and the selling behavior like on the retail side and as well as on the institutional side, especially since we did end up seeing a nice green day. And then when all of that is done, we'll be going into the final thoughts and as well as some more details. So let's get to it. So we're going to be doing a technical analysis for Wish. Let's see how it performed on the day. So it ended up closing at $5.45, being up 6.86%. On the low, it tested $5.10, and then on the high, testing $5.50. When we take a look at the volume stats on the day, you can see we traded at 23.457 million shares, and then for the average volume over 10 trading days being at 40.972 million shares. So even though we did have below average volume on the day, we still saw some strength inside of the stock. So what does this tell us? There are many who are holding shares, and we also have some interest, and I'm not too surprised at that because we do have earnings that is coming up. When we were using our chart, we're using the 1 year daily chart. We could see from the RSI down below, it's right at 48.96. And then when we take a look at the moving averages here, we are below the 200 day, the 100 day, the 50 day. But one thing that I love to see here, we are right on that 21 day EMA, close a little bit above it at 545 and is set at 540. So what I want to look for, I want to see us being able to actually challenge the 50 day here at $5.97. So that's getting to that $6 level. We know $6 is a psychological area. It is an area of resistance, as we can see in the past back here on October the 20th and as well as for the 21st. We were trying our best to actually get above it and it didn't happen. But for this time around, that's what I want to see. I feel if we can get past this $6 level, then the next move to look out for will be right here around the 630. So 635 to be exact. And if we can get past 635, then the next level I'll be looking forward to would be right here around the 670s. As far as for a bearish case scenario is, if we do decide to pull back, I would love for us to actually have a new area of support right here at $5.19. That'd be the most preferable situation, because at least if we can hold that level down, then we can go back, retest this high where we had at 550, get past that resistance and do what we wanted to do. All right, so let's see how it performs going into tomorrow. A look at the recent institutional ownership and short interest information for Wish. So scrolling down on the page, green rows indicate new positions while red rows indicate closed positions. So what we could see here right away, for November the 1st, we have SG Americas Securities LLC purchasing just over 11,000 shares. And then for October the 29th, we have Info LLC that purchased 216 shares, not much whatsoever. And then we have Commonwealth Equity Services that purchased just over 24,000 shares. And also on the 29th and as well as for the 28th, let's first cover the 29th, we have Janney Montgomery Scott LLC purchased just over 17,000. And then as well as ONLN ProShares Online Retail ETF going in with just over 2 million shares. Bullish position right there. Now when we take a look at the short interest, the dark pool short volume ratio is at 23.44%, and then for the dark pool short volume being just over 2.3 million shares. Scrolling down further on the page, the short shares availability is at 1.4 million, and then as we take a look at the short borrow fee rate, it is at 0.80%. Now when we take a look at at the history of the short volume ratio, we can see for the close of the 28th, it was at 30.88. And then for the close for Friday that just passed, it was at 23.44. So one thing to be clear about, this play does continue to have short squeeze potential, because what we normally look for is 21% or higher, and if it fills that criteria. But one thing what we also have to look at as far as for the overall market sentiment, it has becoming more positive for Wish. So let's see how this actually turns out as the days go by leading up into earnings. So let's jump into the order flow distribution now. Now let's take a look at the order flow distribution for Wish. So we can see here on the inflow is 23.83, and then on the outflow it was 26.03. So it ended up being an outflow day. When we take a look at the breakdown, it was 0 on the large, 16.49 on the medium, and 7.34 on the small. Keep in mind this is in the millions. When we take a look at the outflow side on the large, it was 1.44. On the medium, it was 16.45. And then on the small, it was 8.14. When we take a look at the large scale orders in the last 5 days, you could see for November the 1st, it being negative as an outflow day at 1,441. So when we take a look further at the breakdown, you could see there was a lot more selling on the retail side, but we still had a lot of inflows coming into the stock. No surprises there. And then when we take a look at what was going down on the medium, it was fairly close, but we still ended up having a surplus of inflows. And then when we take a look at what happened on the large, of course, there was a lot more selling that was happening. There's different types of traders and investors inside of Wish. We have many people who have been holding Wish stock for quite some time, and as soon as when it gets a quick pop, they're going to sell. We also have many people that are going to be buying in as far as traders that are looking for a swing trade. And then on top of that, we also have investors saying, well, you know what, it's fairly close to the bottom. I want to jump in this thing and see what happens moving forward. Now, when we take a look at what's happening for the turnover ratio now, we could see it's at 4.01%. So what this tells me right away, yes, there is a lot of traders who are inside of this play, but there's also a lot of people who are holding on to their positions. And I'm not surprised about that. We see there's a lot of interest, there's a lot of demand for Wish stock, and yes, it has been trading sideways for quite some time, and it is quite beaten up, and there's a good amount of upside here. So this is why I'm not too shocked about the data that we just went over. So now let's go over the final thoughts, and we'll go over some more details as well. So for my final thoughts for Wish, I was definitely excited about the green day that we had today, especially since I bought some options last week, and it's good seeing, you know what, my position is looking fairly well. Now, many people are going to be looking forward to seeing how Wish does on their earnings report. They have a lot to prove, but if they're able to beat estimates, I can see this stock taking off very quickly. As far as for the risks that are involved, this stock is fairly low when you take into consideration the price, and if you take a look at where the 52-week high is. So I could see many traders saying, hey, there's an opportunity here in a technical sense for this stock to have a nice bounce. Many people are also saying they want to see Wish get to $6 and as well as $7 leading up into earnings. I would love to see $6, but I really don't see $7 happening unless they come out with that earnings report and they end up surprising everyone, and then it just spikes up. And I'm not saying this because I am not a bear whatsoever. Like I said, I do hold a position, but I'm the kind of person that likes to be conservative, and I also like to be realistic when it comes to my price targets. So Wish, I want to see you get to $6 before earnings, all right? Now, when we went on Fintel, taking a look at the short interest information, one thing that is clear, this play does have short squeeze potential. Yes, the short volume ratio has gone down over time, but it also does tell us as far as for the overall market sentiment, it has become a lot more positive for Wish stock. So this is a good thing at the end of the day. And this is why I tell you guys it's important to do your homework and do your due diligence and make sure that you're getting the right entries. Just don't jump blindly into the stock. I know many people that bought into Wish actually last week when it was under $5, and they were able to do a swing, and also they're able to see some green in their portfolio because they're looking forward to seeing how Wish can perform a year from now, 2 years from now, 3 years from now, and so forth. So depending on the kind of investor you are and what type of goals you have for Wish, I want to make sure that you sit down, you evaluate it, and you make sure you're going with a strategy that is right, and that's going to give you a peace of mind. And you're not only having your positions based solely what you're hearing on social media or what you get online. Do your due diligence. So let's see how Wish performs as this week progresses. We do have the Fed meeting. I just want to see Wish being able to hold on to its gains and keep that run going. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and we'll be talking real soon.